All right, Kristen, we'll put you up here against the race winner, Henriette, at Stratton GS. This is second run, just for a little comparison purposes. The first thing is we got to work on our start a little bit. They say there's 2 races in every race to the first gate and first gate to the finish. And really anyone could win that race to the first gate. It's all about just being explosive and really nothing about skiing ability. So the first thing is we trip that wand. That's when the clock begins. We want to trip that the last possible moment while trying to get momentum and be on that course. She pulls her feet up. It's called a kick start, and she's really on the course before tripping the wand. You kind of just walk into it and kind of fall onto the course. So we haven't practiced that, so we're going to do that this weekend. Secondly, we want to get, if we can, a couple of full extension skates. And she really reaches forward, you can see with her poles, really pushes hard. And we just got to push a little harder. You're probably a couple tenths out by now, but other than that, hey, you had a pretty good run. You had a nice position here, kind of similar to her. She may be just a hair more direct, but not bad. The one thing I'd like to see you do, let's see if we can get a view of it soon. It's just really more, kind of driving the hands forward. They're not bad. You see your outside hand does come down here. That's pretty good. Let's just make sure we really think about driving outside hand out over that downhill ski. And here you just kind of let them to your sides. So remember, drive those hands forward past the gate. Not sure if we'll be able to see her. Here she comes in, wide hands for balance in the transition. Kind of drives them forward past the gate. Here we are, now you're lined up together, and she just kind of has her hand, you see her outside hand sweeping a little bit forward out over the downhill ski. You're just kind of hanging there, so, a little bit kind of tippy. I think I had mentioned in your first run, tip it in a couple times, and that's kind of, one example there. Inside hand pretty low, outside hand pretty high. That generally means tip it in a bit. The other thing we'd like to do is just see if we can just get a little tighter line. You're pretty close to her, but I'd just say overall with you, we don't necessarily have to hit these yet or brush them, although I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I just really want to tighten this up just a tad. You tend to just go just a hair wide at times on some of these gates. Let's see if we can get you up closer to her. So you can kind of just see how she's just a little bit closer, I believe, to that gate. One thing it kind of looked like here is you maybe started that turn, it gets kind of fuzzy and frame by frame this far away, but I'm thinking you might have started the turn a hair early, had to kind of skid a little bit to get by the gate. She brought some pretty good, she got outside rise line here. You can see her skis pointing clearly out and away from the pole. Brought shape back, relatively tight, relatively, not super tight, but really well balanced. You kind of, I think, started it too early. Had to skid a little bit to get by the gate, give yourself some room, and kind of look like you're absorbing some bumps, and kind of looks like a little bit two-footed on the inside ski there. Again, hand, outside hand kind of by your side a bit. She looks just like really well balanced with level shoulders and upper body facing more in the direction of travel. It's hard to tell distances. I think you just can be a little bit tighter. Trying to finish that turn with direction down, just a hair tighter to the gate. Just cut down on some of the distance we're traveling. But all in all, you had some good skiing. Let's just remember to make sure that we are driving our hands, through the turn. We aim wide for balance in the transition. Where'd you go? There you are. This is pretty good. Here we told you to kind of bring your apex down towards the panel on this flat. We didn't need to bring as much shape back. You did a good job. This is perfect. You got your half turn above, really, half turn below. Exactly what we wanted to do. When it's steep and offset, we need to bring more shape back, finish direction right on the panel. But here, we didn't have to, so that's a good job. So overall, some good skiing. Let's make sure we're driving our hands, forward through the turn. We can have them wide for balance in a transition. Drive them forward. Outside hand, drive it down the hill, out over the downhill ski, so it helps us get angles and balance on that ski. Make sure we're not. It helps us avoid it tipping in, which isn't really a consistent thing for you, but it happens now and again. And let's make sure that we are just trying to get a little more tighter to the gates. Cut down on that line, and then we'll work on our start and skating also this weekend. But all in all, good race.